Good morning. I think I've been stationary for far too long. It's about time I moved the boat a little bit at least. And then once I'm moored up, I'll tell you all about fender bender and what I mean by that. As you can hear, I'm parked not too far away from a bridge, and it's a humpback bridge, so cars toot their horn to let people know they're coming the other way. So now I need to prep the boat ready to go. We'll start the engine, put down the solar panels, and I'll be on my way. We'll find a nice mooring spot. I notice I'm actually hanging on to these things because I dropped one of them in the canal last time. I do have a plan for these to stop them falling in. And we get a cable tie and actually tie it to the pillar. That should fix the problem. Right, here you go, that's the solar panels done. I just want to show you something I saw in the grass next to the boat as I was letting the solar panels down. It appears to be some sort of spider, I believe, because there's cobwebs around it. It's made of funnel. I saw something disappear down there, but I couldn't see what. So if anyone knows, please let me know in the comments. There's one problem with where I was moored. Slightly under trees, as you can see, leaves. There seems to be a lot of spider webs as well, the leaves catching the cobwebs, and it looks filthy. So I think once I get to my next mooring spot, I will actually give the boat a bit of a clean. I'm just going up the canal a few hundred yards the wrong way, so I want to go that way. So I need to turn the boat around. So I've just got to get to a turning point. Really quite nice weather. Yes, it's cloudy, but it's nice and warm. About 22 at the moment. Morning. Okay. Just coming up, if you saw a video from a few videos ago, the Canal and River Trust are doing repairs and widening of the towpath here. This is a new bit they weren't doing before. Just a bit further up, as I'll show you in a second, is what they've actually achieved. And just coming up here, so you can see the workboat there. This is what it's going to look like. Nice armco to moor to. All I've got to do is fill in behind that armco, and then it'll be ready to use. At the moment the towpath is actually shut off, so people can't actually walk down this section at the moment. Now I know I've filmed this section many times, however I'm never tired of watching a narrowboat go down a canal. Just something so soothing. And believe me, it's just as good actually driving the boat. I'm only going up the canal about a mile from where I was moored. I've turned around now, and I'm going to stop there, moor up in a spot, hopefully it's free. I'm going to get my jet wash out, get rid of all the leaves and spider webs, cobwebs, and I'm also going to be telling you about my fenders and why it's called fender bender. Basically, a few weeks before I went to Crick, a blue boat, I know it was a blue boat even though I wasn't at my boat at that time, went all the way down the side of my boat, leaving blue marks. and just about ripping off some of my fenders, which is why I bought some new ones at Crick. So I wanted to replace them anyway, but it's like an incentive. So the ropes on some of the fenders are literally just hanging off a few strings, so I've got some brand new ones. I'll show you them in a short while once I stop. Well, today's cruise is turning out to be a lot longer than I was expecting. I had picked out 3 separate mooring spots that I was going to try and stop at, and of course all 3 are taken. Very busy today. Must have passed about 20 boats coming the other way, and I've only gone about 2 and a bit miles, maybe 2.5 miles. So it looks like I'm going to have to go all the way up to possibly Braunston, turn around there and come back. I did want a fairly isolated spot so I could do the filming of cleaning the boat, etc. So I'm still, even now, a bit self-conscious about filming myself when there's other people around. So, as you can see, it's turned out to be a glorious day again. Started out cloudy, now sunny. Love it. Well, literally a minute after I last spoke to you, I found a mooring spot, and it looks ideal for what I want to do. Lovely view. Sun's going to be ideal on solar. In time to turn the engine off. Well, I've been putting this job off for quite a while. Shame on me. I'll show you why. Just put my hat on first. I finally remembered I've got a hat. The sun's very warm today. Right, I think the sun is just at the right angle to show you how filthy Narrowboat Gate is. There's cobwebs all down the side there, dust. The gunwale is filthy. It's mainly cobwebs and dust. And my solar panels are absolutely filthy with dust, as you can see. So I think I'll be starting with the solar panels to clean them, and then a little bit of the roof and hopefully the side. And the problem I've got is this. I've got myself a battery powered jet wash. At the moment it's got a brush attachment on there so I can scrub the panels, and it's a really good one. I got it for my car actually, but easily used on the boat. So this bit here goes in any water source. It can attach to a hose or a faucet, a tap, or it can go in a bucket, or you can just chuck it in the canal and it will suck water up from there. The main problem I've got with the jet wash gun is that I've only got 2/3 of a battery, and I haven't got the charger here. I believe it's at my flat. So I'll use it as much as I can until the battery goes flat, cleaning as much as I possibly can, starting with the roof as I said and going down one side, and then I will probably have to wait until next week to do the other side. Let's see. There you go. Right, that's the first one done. That's the solar panels nice and clean, so it should hopefully bring in a few more watts. I'm just going to do the roof now, get rid of some of these leaves in the gutter. Now, one thing I didn't actually mention, yes, it is canal water, and the canal water is not exactly clean. It is a bit muddy. I do have a filter in here to get out the worst bits, but yes, I am washing it with canal water. Oh yeah, one other thing, I'm not actually using any detergents or any like car wash soap or anything like that. I'm just using plain canal water, nothing added. It's turning out okay actually. Paintwork needs a bit of a touch up and a polish and some rust spots on the roof, but yeah, the battery seems to be going quite well. Just got this side left to do, the bottom bit, and that'll be about it for today. Now the windows. I've got two windows open there. I must remember to close them before I do those. Well, my battery's run out, and I'm really pleased actually with how it's turned out. I know the paintwork's not fantastic, but I will touch that up and make it better in time. I didn't get to the end. Let me show you where I got up to. As you will see, compared to the pictures from the beginning, where it was all dusty and cobwebby, it's turned out all right until we get to past this window, and there you go, you can see the difference. That's where I got up to. Didn't get the windows done, which is probably a good thing because there's a spider made a web across the opening, so I'll leave them there for at least another week, and I've just got to the end of the boat to do this side, turn it around and do the other side next week once I've got the battery charged. These are my new fenders. They're going to replace the old ones. Let me show you what they look like. Now, I've got three on each side. The ones this side aren't too bad as far as the way they're tied on. I'll show you a couple of pictures. These are the ones. I'm going to cut these off and I'll show you them side by side. These don't look too bad, but if I'm replacing one or two, then I'm going to replace all of them. As I said, three each side. I'm going to cut these ropes off, tie the new ones on. I've decided that those that aren't too bad, like this one, it's old but it's not too bad, it will still function. I'm going to try and untie it so that I can keep it in case I lose one of the others. Then I've got an instant one to put on. Because it's so old, these knots are quite tight. Of course, they put in about 25 knots for each one to make sure it doesn't come undone, which I suppose is a good thing. You don't really want it coming undone. Job done. Let's get a new one out. So let me quickly show you the difference between them. Yeah, hopefully you can see that. So a little bit fatter and obviously newer rope. Now these used to hang down just a little bit low, so it was, the top of this was below the rubbing strip, and I'd like that above that. So oh, good morning. It's the next day and I'm about 2 hours behind when I wanted to leave. I wanted to leave really early this morning, but you know what, it felt just right to chill out a little bit, nice cup of coffee and just look at this glorious weather. So I am going to get off now because I do need to be back home today. So I've got a few things I need to do. So I'm just going to get the boat prepped, if I can find the right key. I'm going to start the engine, put my solar panels down, let the engine warm up a little bit, and then we'll be off back to my original mooring spot, hopefully, because that's where my car is. And you know what? Even though I cleaned these yesterday, dusty already. Today is definitely a sunglasses day. That glare off the water just pulled away. I was going to let this boat behind me through, but my boat was already halfway out into the canal, so it would have been a bit difficult to pull that back in. In fact, I'm actually going to pull over and let him past. I thought I'd let that guy pass because he was going a little bit faster than I wanted to go. Still well within the limits of the canal speed limit. Although I need to get back, I'm not in any particular rush, to be honest. So I'm going about, well, maybe half a mile up the canal, and there's a turning point. That point is a little bit tricky because it's right in the middle of some moored boats, and hopefully there's no boats moored opposite the turning point, because that makes it doubly difficult. Then I'm going to come all the way back a couple of miles to my original mooring spot. As some of you may know, in the last week or so I've launched memberships to my YouTube channel, this channel, Red One Afloat, and I'm still learning how that all works, so bear with me. If you may be interested, I'm hoping by the time you see this that I'll be able to put a button that you can just click on, and that will take you straight to the join page, and then you can see what is available there. There's basically 3 levels. I'm also able to offer something called Super Thanks. Now that is basically a one-off gift that you can give me to help run this channel. I'd really appreciate it if you would consider signing up for either of those. So I'm really trying to grow the channel, so it's going to help with producing these videos. As you can see, the weather is set fair for today. In fact, for at least another week. It's going to be the mid to high 20s, which is quite comfortable. There, if you can see, there's like a little brick wall on the left hand side there, and there'll be one on the right. And this is what used to be an old bridge of some sort. I don't know if it was a road or a crossing just for the farmer, and sometimes there are even railways, obviously disused now. Morning. Morning. Ah, as you just saw there, as boats pass, they normally have a wave or a short chat. And if you know them, sometimes you even stop in the middle of the canal. But yes, it is very busy this morning. There's another one coming. It's not too far now before my turning point as well. I do believe somewhere up here is my turning point. Well, I don't believe I've gone past it. Turning point, that is. However, I have been here before. I think it's up on the right there, past the next 3 boats, and there's like a hedge on the right, and then I turned there. Just hope there's not a boat coming the other way, which looks like it is. That's going to be awkward. So I was hoping to go in wide and turn in that way. Now I've got to go in quite narrow. Dick. I don't know. I've done about 10 going that way.
Really?
It's incredible. Thank you for waiting. Okay. Well, I was a little bit under pressure there with the boat waiting for me. But that was, believe it or not, one of my better windings. Right, back to my mooring spot. And I think I've caught the sun again. I'm one of those horrible people who just go brown. There's no pink in between. If I get too much, my skin starts to get a bit prickly and warm. So yes, I should have put some sun cream on, but I haven't got any. As I've said a few times in some of my videos, this is the ideal. Perfect temperature, slight breeze to take the edge off. It's just glorious. You can see in the field there some grain. I won't pretend to know what the grain is, but that looks like it's pretty much ready for harvest to me. I'm not a farmer either, by the way, far from it. Cruising is not always like this. Again, I've showed that in some other videos. Sometimes it's cloudy and miserable, raining. But that's the beauty of this country. The weather is not the same all the time. and to be honest, that's partly why I like it. Shortly I'll be coming up to a corner. Yes, this is a little bit of a moan. There's actually a wide beam, which is like twice the width of a narrowboat, that is parked just on that corner, and it's blocking the view, so you can't see if anything's coming the other way, and you can only get one boat past it on the left, and I'm turning right. Please think about that in the future. So if you've gone literally 50 yards around the corner, there's plenty of space here and we can all see past your big fat boat. Just to put the record straight, I do like wide beams. I love the space they give. It would just be nice if we were a little bit more considerate to everyone else in this particular case. I'm starting to get mooring anxiety. I'm not sure if my desired mooring spot is going to be free, because there must be 15 boats in front of me, all going the same way. Oh well, there's nothing I can do about it. I've just got to hope that I've got a spot when I get there. Oh, I just want to get moored up now. Starting to get a headache, mainly because I didn't bring myself a drink onto the back of the boat, and it is actually quite warm with that sun on your back. However, I'm just coming up to a nice bit of shade here, nice bit of relief, even if it's only for a few minutes. Oh, not too long now, maybe half an hour. Notice this marquee being set up. Obviously some sort of event going on. You never know, maybe a wedding. Well, sadly it looks like I'm not going to be able to do the 3 fenders on the other side of the boat. So unfortunately, as you saw, I started off a bit late this morning, about 2 hours late, and that means I've got to leave not long after I get back to the mooring so that I can get to a parcel shop before they close, as I've got a parcel waiting for me. If I don't pick it up today, they will send it back, and I don't want them to do that. So you obviously got this far in the video. I'd like to say thank you so much for watching. Thank you for supporting the channel by doing that. If you'd like to support it even more, please remember I've got channel memberships now available. Just click on the link below on the button. As for now, I'd like to say thank you again, take care, and see you in the next one. Well, here we go, I'm moored up. And I'm actually moored in exactly the same spot.